Oh my God, I've been muted this whole time. Are you kidding me? I've been muted this whole time, man. I've been having a conversation with myself. Jeez Louise. Are you serious? 18 minutes worth of silence.
Alright, Sebastian, it's in for you.
What the heck?
Go ahead. I don't know if our current GPS would give y'all more exact location of this pile of debris.
Well, anyway, let's restart. Good morning. We're live on the streets of Austin this morning.
Proceed.
I hope I haven't lost too many of you. Jesus Christ. I don't even remember everything I've told you guys. You know what? Forget it. I can't go back through that. What the heck, man? Why does OBS keep muting me every time I end a stream? Ah, boy. What a mess. I gotta, you know what, I'm gonna make a note and I'm gonna stick it on here on my, uh-oh, what was that? I'm gonna make a note and I'm gonna stick it on here. That way it can tell me every single time that I'm muted. Ah, what a mess. Anyway. There was a SWAT call out this morning. It actually may still be happening up in Cedar Park, but I'm gonna drop out for a second. SWAT call out up in Cedar Park. Barricaded person. It's in an apartment complex up by about 183A, the tollway in Cypress Creek. I cannot believe I was muted this whole time. What a mess. What a mess. What a mess. I definitely have to make a note to start checking that.
Engine 18, respiratory in ASD box 1805 at 1438 Coronado Hill.
So anyway, we were up in North Austin this morning. There's not a whole lot happening up there, so we are headed south.
Engine 21, rescue 31, hazardous condition in ASD box
Hazardous
1902 at 6804 Mesa Drive on fire
6804.
hazardous condition in ASD box 1902 at 6804 Mesa Drive on
How long will it take us to get up there? Good morning, Bitcoin BMW. I am having a great day. I hope you're going to have a good day as well. I've been live now for 21 minutes, but I was muted for the first 18 minutes, and I didn't realize it. And I feel completely stupid for chattering away here just chattering away and talking to no one but myself. I have to make a note and put it on the mixer here to check the mute button. See, this all started, and you know what? I need to fix this. It all started because I have so in a radio, like if for broadcasting in a studio, you have a button. That way, if you're going to end up sneezing or coughing, you just boom, you hit that button, and it'll mute your mic for a sec, and then you can do what you need to do. And that button on here, it actually mutes it, and I have to hit another button to unmute it. So sometimes I hit that button on accident and then forget to unmute it. So like right now we're talking, and then back on again. And of course, it's not easy to run all this while driving, and you know, I've got to pay attention to the road, so I'm not looking at the mixer and I'm not looking at the console. But I do hope you have a great day as well. It's gonna be hot today. We'll probably make it into the low hundreds. I mean, it's a little after 10, and we're already at 94 degrees. So it is going to be smoking hot today. It's a good view of the skyline. You can see the Capitol kind of sticking through there a little bit. Austin is growing. It is turning into a massive city. Turning into a massive little city. And of course, we're on 35 headed to South Austin right now, and this is the highway where, you know, you basically need to have a helmet to drive on it. You know, you gotta come through here playing bumper cars. So I have another camera set up in here now that I want to start trying to use. Where I'm going to do like a picture-in-picture where I've got a camera on me as well. That way when I want to talk to you guys or we're answering questions or whatever, you guys can see me as well. I think it helps to know who's talking to you, know who you're chatting with. We're going to try that out a little later and see if this laptop can handle encoding 2 cameras at once. We'll try it here in just a little bit. I don't know if my setup right now can handle 2 HD cameras. But we are definitely going to give it a shot.
Rescue 31 from engine 21.
Bill 31.
Yeah, Cap, they got it clamped off at the Mustang. We got zeros on the monitor. Cleared your discretion.
Thank you.
Alright, we're going to lose a little connection going under the bridge.
Dispatch engine
Hopefully
21.
it won't be too painful. I think what we'll do is head down Riverside for a bit.
Usual High Texas gas, please.
My throat is hurting today. Been working on this TV show and my throat is getting my voice is being used a little too much lately. And I'm also having to go through, so check this out. I am a southern guy. I've spent my whole life in Texas, and you can hear it. Obviously, I have a Texas accent. But for TV shows, you kind of want to have more of a neutral accent. And so I'm doing these classes where I'm learning how to get rid of this accent, or make it at least not so thick. I hope it's working. Alarm, fire alarm, hazardous condition. I hope it's working. I hope I sound a little bit more clear. It's like trying to teach an old dog new tricks. It's not easy. dog new tricks. The Ladybird Lake stuff is heating up again. There's more bodies being found, excuse me, there are men missing. There's actually one guy that went missing from Rainy Street. I'm going to be talking about him a little bit more coming up this week. And then yesterday, the word came out that there is another man missing here in Austin. Now, here's something interesting. The Ladybird Wildflower Center down on Mopac in far South Austin. They found a body in the Wildflower Center. A body that the man was obviously dead. And it's interesting because the police department put out a statement that they are investigating a suspicious death, but then they stopped talking about it completely. Now here's the thing, there's a man that went missing down there in that area, literally within blocks of where the Wildflower Center was. He left his keys, his wallet, and his phone in the house, and he just basically walked away and went missing. Austin police had a search team out in the Greenbelt down in that area with dogs looking for this guy. Couldn't find him. And then about a week later, after he went missing, they find this body in the Wildflower Center. And but they're not releasing any information about it. And I put in some public information requests. I put in some public information requests just to see exactly what they know or what's happening with that. But they're not being very forthcoming. And that's a huge problem because that's why we need access to the radios. I don't trust the city to tell us in a timely fashion what we need to know as the public.
4511 airport.
They have free reign at this point. They can do whatever they want and they can say whatever they want and they release whatever they want when they want to release it. So they control the narrative. And forgive me for not trusting a city government to control the narrative. That can never be a good thing when the government is controlling the narrative. So we'll see what happens with that. But there's definitely some men that are missing. And there's several bodies that have been found around Austin here recently that you just cannot find any information about. And when it comes to the Ladybird Lake deaths, the bodies where the men went missing on Rainy Street and ended up being found in the lake, you can't get any information about that. Even through sources, they have locked down the files where there's just no way to get any information about it. Now, if all of those deaths were accidental, like they say they are, why are they not releasing any information? Why are they locking all of those cases down? It seems obvious that something else is going on. They either have an investigation going on that they're trying to protect. They don't want you to know something. So I'm looking into that. It's just taking a lot of time. Hazardous condition on Southwest Parkway.
For the man, please, if they're in our call location, we can take anything pending near us.
I need to get the AC in this car serviced. I think I will do that when we're done this morning because I'm already getting hot in here. This AC is not working near as well this year as what it was working last summer. Maybe it needs Freon. I don't know. We'll have to see. maybe it needs refrigerant. So yesterday we went back into the water tower camp, and I put out a message last night on X about a guy not robbing us, but I mean damn near it. And
Medic 7, ready to ultimate Jason 12.
I was not gonna talk about it because I mean maybe the guy really legitimately was kidding. I don't think so, but a lot of people want to go into these camps, and it's not smart to do that, especially if you're alone. Don't go into a homeless camp. If you've got stolen property and you know for a fact that the stolen property is in these camps, don't go in there looking for it. Call the cops and let the cops deal with it. It's so dangerous. You know, I've been doing this for a long time now, and you know, I've been doing it for a long time, and we still, you know, like yesterday, almost end up in a lot of trouble, you know, and it's just not smart. Bike lanes here are stupid. Yeah, it's too hot, man. There ain't nobody out riding bikes. It's just way too hot.
Did you hang out for a minute? Central's a little busy right now. Just 6 is down for the day, so we're down a unit.
And you know, I have a lot of equipment in this car that I need to keep cool, and that's hard to do when it's this hot. You know, most of the equipment is in the very back, and there's not a whole lot of free air moving back there. So I've got a plan for that. I've got some fans that I'm going to be installing. I don't see anybody riding a bike really when it's hot outside. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but there's not a whole lot of them. And I spend an inordinate amount of time out here on the street. I see more people walking than riding.
Responding 12, 424 research.
Medic 7, unit 25.
So I've got a show that I'm going to be filming coming up here real soon with Savannah Hernandez. I don't know if she goes by Sav Says, S-A-V, Sav Says. That's on X. She's a really cool person, and we're going to be doing some homeless stuff, filming for homelessness here in Austin for her channel and TPUSA. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get that done. We've been trying to get out here for a while now, but something always ends up coming up, and schedules conflict, and it just, we can't ever meet in one spot. She's busy, I'm busy, everybody's busy right now. And one of the areas we're going to film is coming up here in just a short bit. I wanted to take her into the water tower camp, but I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want to end up getting anybody hurt.
5 on control. Are we clear to 19 to retrieve supplies?
Medic 5. Yeah, I gotta keep you available, but go ahead.
15, we're available.
This is the camp right over to our right. It's an old RV park that has been turned into a homeless camp.
4523.
Dash has a new home, a new platform, Odyssey, O-D-S, or O-D-Y-S-E-E, Odyssey.com.
Medic 3 received.
Those guys reached out to me a while back and asked me if I would consider coming to their platform, so we're doing some promotional stuff over there. It's going to be a lot of fun to be with those guys. I don't have to worry about censorship and all that other nastiness. So the water tower camp, which is right in front of us here a little ways, it's going to be bulldozed this week. We put out a lot of videos last week, and it's going to be bulldozed this week. And we're going to drive by. I'm anxious to see here if they're out here already this morning, or if it's going to be a little later in the week. I don't know the exact day that it's going to happen, but it's going to happen this week. And the water tower camp is right up here on the right. Let's see. Yeah, this is it right here. I don't see much happening. You're going to be able to see the camp as we drive by here. This is the very front part of it. You guys can see the stuff there. This is the very front part of the camp. Massive, massive camp. Massive camp. That's also part of it. The fencing you see there, that's also part of the camp. Biggest camp in Austin, hands down.
Medic 5, ready for alarm, 135 volts.
And then right up here on the other side of this traffic light, there's another camp. That last fall, there was 2 murders in this camp. That's up here on the right. The city went down after the last murder. The city went in and shut that camp down. Dave and I are going to be going back into the camp.
Customer 17, we have a location in Building H. We're at the building and no one's outside. We don't have an apartment number.
We're going to be going back into this camp this week to check it out and see what's what and see, exactly how much is moved back in there.
Advisor responding 135 volts, circle move it on.
Medic 5, thanks.
NDFG.
Demand 3 with DC4, chest pain at 1317 South.
All right.
Engine 6, chest pain in AFC box.
Chest pain.
705 at
Yeah, Medic 17, your patient was supposed to be in the parking lot. Did you get the vehicle description they were nearby?
Negative. We just got Building H. We'll go back around.
Granger.
It looks like you're in this correct general area. I think maybe further east of that in the parking lot. But yeah, they're next to a blue and silver Chevy pickup in the parking lot, in the parking spot.
3 DC4 due to proximity.
Blue and silver Chevy pickup.
So I'm looking for moderators for X. If anybody, X and YouTube. As we grow on YouTube, I'm going to need more moderators. But if anybody's interested in being a moderator, especially on X right now, send me a DM and I'll make you a mod. It's hard when I'm out here to keep an eye on the chat and make sure things are not being said that shouldn't be said. And especially the way they're censoring right now, I don't want to end up taking a hit because of something that was said.
Command 6, danger C.
Right here on the right, this is that other camp. This is where there was a murder. It's a massive camp. Holy smokes, it's so big in there. Wow. Yikes.
Charles Man 6 for C pages.
Copy, man.
Bill Alsher subscribed to me on X. Bill, if you're listening, thank you, man. You know, one of my when I started this a while back, year and a half, 2 years ago, I had two goals. I had a goal to be followed by Adam Lowy and Bill Alsher, and I've accomplished both of those things. I've respected Adam and Bill in this city for forever, and now Bill subscribes. That's very awesome of him. And Adam Lowy supports the channel as well, which is really awesome. Adam is a really awesome guy. Every time I see his face on a billboard, I take a picture and send it to him. Or on a bus or wherever. It's like always having your attorney watching you. What is this? Woodward? Yeah, we're gonna go down Woodward. You know, it scares me. My buddy Alex Rosen, he has the account I Fight for Kids. He's the predator poacher. It scares me about what happened to him yesterday when they banned him, suspended him yesterday for no reason, and it took hours to get it back. And then he lost all of his subscribers. I mean, it just screwed up his whole game. And it scares me a lot because that could happen to any of us at any time. And I work so hard. X is my main platform, basically. That's where all of the views come from. That's where all of my ad revenue comes from. Everything is on X. And it scares me that could happen at any time on X. And I mean, it's just over. Good morning, Butterfly. You know, and like yesterday I got hit for hateful conduct on X. And I was talking about, I had posted about rats being in that homeless camp. I called them field rats. I said the camp is full of these massive field rats. And they struck me for hateful conduct because of that. And it's so stupid. I mean, I wasn't even talking about people. I was talking about a rat. And they got me for hateful conduct. And, you know, that's outrageous.
They've had 3 from Engine 6.
So,
Bravo's
you know,
going to be on the right side of the building.
At any time, this could all be over. And, you know, when you're building a business this way, that is pretty freaky for that, you know, to have that possibility that just for any reason it could all be over. I used to see people that do this. I used to see them, you know, start freaking out because, you know, getting strikes and all that, and I never understood it. But I understand it now. I put so much work and so much money into this that if they just tore it down tomorrow, it would be devastating. It would be devastating. I'm going to show y'all something here. This is a Home Depot right here at Woodward and 35. And back when I was homeless, this was many, many, many moons ago, I would come here and work day labor. This is how I worked my way out of homelessness. I would come here and pick up day labor jobs. You'll see a bunch of people sitting on the side up here, and that's what these people are doing. You see them on the sides over there on the left? They're just waiting to pick up jobs for contractors to come by and pick them up. And you can make, it's hard work, but you can make a really decent wage doing this. I was making, you know, anywhere between $100 and $150 a day, plus lunch doing this. And I would come down here, I would leave every morning, get on the bus, and I would come down here every morning. I would be here by 6 a.m. to pick up a job.
Medic
You have
37.
to actually say the right meaning. Animals. I'm telling you, I think that's what it was. I think maybe they looked at, because I said field rat, I think they thought that maybe that was a slur. I don't know. But you can see how many people are out here. Look up here on the left. There is just a ton of people that come out here. Most of these people are illegal immigrants. They do not have a work permit, so they have to work for cash money. And yeah, they come up here. Contractors come up and pick them up, and they go to work for the day. Most homeless people do not want to work. I can tell you that. I didn't want to be homeless. It wasn't my choice, and I wanted out of it as quick as possible. And so yeah, they're very, very, very seldom does a homeless person go there to pick up a job. It is incredibly hard work. It's manual labor. It's the kind of work that they come and hire people to do because nobody else wants to do that job. It's that kind of work. And I have never worked as hard in my life as I did when I was doing that right there. I hope we don't lose our signal here. What? Yeah, it can be. But most of those guys, I can tell you, most of those guys back there, they're decent guys. They just want to work. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not violent people. Most of those guys are honestly, they just want a day's work, and they work incredibly hard. People have no clue how hard it is to work day labor like that. One of the jobs that I took when I was there, see, the contractors would pick me up more often than not because I spoke English, and they would take an English speaker before a Spanish speaker just because it's so hard to communicate. But one of the jobs that I did was a guy. He was doing a xeriscape yard, which is all rock, but his yard was up on a hill. The company delivered the rock down on the road, and basically we would fill up 2 5-gallon buckets and then carry the rock uphill and then spread it. You have no clue how hard that was. By the end of the day, I was shot down completely. It was horrible work. But I made $200 to do that too. What happened? Those words have been tagged as hate speech. It's in the algos and flagging it. Yeah, I thought about it afterwards. I don't know what ethnic group a field rat represents, but I was talking about the little furry creature. Well, and that's just the thing about the experience. The work that they're picking people up for there, you don't need experience. You just need muscle. That's the problem. It's usually muscle. That's what they need. They need muscle. They need somebody to do some hard-ass work is what they need. A lot of these jobs, when you're working on houses, a lot of that stuff it's not easy. And it just takes brute force. It just takes a lot of muscle. I lost a lot of weight doing that. I was there doing that for about 6 months. I lost a lot of weight, and I got in very good shape. Because when you're homeless, you have nothing else to do. And you work 7 days a week. Good morning, Andrew. How are you doing, man?
Medic 46.
So, yeah, brute force. You don't really need experience. You just need muscle. But I'm telling you, most of the people that are there, I can't vouch for them, but they are, they're just there to do a job. They don't care where they're going. They don't care whose house they're at. They don't care. They're just there to get a wage and to move on about their life. So, let's just say in 6 months, I never saw anybody that would cause any trouble. I have never, I did. I helped a guy do hardy board once, and it was a pretty hard job. And hardy board is concrete basically, and but I wouldn't know how to do it. Like if somebody came and asked me to put siding on their house now, I would have no clue what to do. Would have no idea. But I got a lot of experience doing a lot of different things. I worked in concrete while I was there, doing a lot of concrete jobs, just basically anything that required heavy lifting. One pill did kill. A lot of heavy lifting. Fire alarm, Capitex's hazardous condition. And man, when it's middle of summer, like now, July, August, and it's 105 degrees outside and you got to work outside all day long, it is absolutely brutal.
I think C4 never picked up, so we'll just have to continue.
Inside my house, and it was a terrible job. Oh man, I'm sorry, Butterfly, that sucks.
Go cook one, man.
Yes, Jane, it is brutal grunt work. It is. I mean, they go there because nobody else wants to do the job, but they pay well. Well, most of the contractors will pay well, and it's in cash. There's not any checks. There's none of that. It is cash money, and and lunch. So you can't, if you're trying to work your way out of homelessness, it's a pretty good way to do it. I saved a ton of money. I would get a hotel 2 or 3 times a week in a 7-day period, to wash clothes and take a shower and stay, healthy. But that's at a Motel 6. It's like 40. I used to pay like 40. I think it was $42 a night. Pay the $42. Boom. Other than that, I was sleeping outside. And within 6 months, I saved up a lot of money. And my problem was I didn't have a bank account down here at that time. So I was carrying all this cash around with me. And then it got to the point where it was going to be dangerous. So I had to actually open up a bank account. Man, I would. I mean, right now, this is busy time. You could probably get a good price to get your house redone right now.
Medic 13 with Chipper 2, Party Foresight RA from Law, 300 South Lamar.
I mean, you think about it, you're making a minimum of $100 a day. Most of the time it's $150. You're doing that 7 days a week. And, your only expenses are basically, eating, bus passes, things like that. And then a hotel 2 or 3 times a week. You can save a shit ton of money real quick. But it is hard work. It'll definitely improve your work ethic. And that's why most of the people that are on the street, they could be doing that same thing to get off the street, but they don't want to. They don't want off. Most of the people that are on the street, they are there because, I don't want to say they're there because they want to be, but there's reasons that they're there. Whether it's like mental health. Most of it is drugs and alcohol, but there's a reason that they're there and a reason that they cannot go and work and do a full day's work. You can't go and do that kind of work if you got a needle in your arm. 300 South Lamar. Oh wait, that's up there by the river. Oh no, that was my education was well before, and then once I was able to work my way off the street, met my wife, and was able to get back into the business of working a professional job. No, I was in college in the early 2000s, but I was married a previous time up in North Texas. And ended up alcohol and played a big role in what happened. Ended up divorced and on the street, man. It's the same old story that happens over and over. You lose everything before you even realize you lose everything. My story is no different than probably 90% of the other people that's on the street right now, other than I decided I didn't want to be homeless and work my way out of it.
Thank you for status change. We are at Route Max.
And thank God I didn't do any permanent damage to myself while I was homeless. So it's very easy when you're on the streets to fall into drug use. It makes it a lot easier. When you're on the street and you fall into dope, it makes life on the street much, much easier. So I understand exactly why people are on drugs while they're on the street. Whether it was the drugs that caused them to get there in the first place, or they started using drugs to cope with being on the street. And let me tell you something. I think why I enjoy doing what I'm doing so much right now is because I understand how the homeless people feel. When there's two things that stand out to me when I was homeless that I remember the most. Two events that I remember the most. And one of them is when I ended up homeless. I was, like I said, I'm from Dallas. I came down here because the word on the street was it's much easier to live as a homeless person in Austin, and it really was. So I ended up in Austin because of that. Let me get out from under these trees and I'll tell you the other one. Hang on one sec. So I remember the night that I ended up down here in Austin on the streets, right? I was at William Cannon and 35 down here in South Austin. There's a bus stop right next to the HEB, and it was about midnight. The buses were about to stop running. I remember going in, sitting at that bus stop. I had no phone. I had no way to contact my family. I had nothing. But the clothes that were on my back. And I remember exactly how alone I felt. That is like the ultimate being alone. You have no way to call the people you love. You have no way of. It was brutal. And I sat at that bus stop that night and bawled my eyes out. The other thing that really stands out to me from my time on the street is I slept at the Methodist Church, which is just to the west side of the Capitol. And I remember some of my first nights sleeping on the concrete there that, man, they've got this all blocked off back here. I remember some of my first nights there sleeping on the concrete and watching people walk by me, these college kids walking back up to UT, people out having dinner, and I'm out sleeping on the concrete because I got to get up and try to work the next day. And people look at you like you're a bug. I'm not even kidding. They look at you like you're a bug. And it is humiliating, it's degrading, and it's just, those things are just like burnt into my memory. You should talk to people about your life at schools and other. Yeah, I would do that. But there's certain things, like I understand what these people feel like on the street. Well, what most of them feel like anyway, and how it feels to sleep on the concrete. I slept on the sidewalks at the Methodist Church for about a week, and then I found an area of the church that had it's a side porch that's on the very south side of the church. It's like a little side entrance that me and two other guys slept in that little area. So there was these concrete walls that kept people from seeing us. And it was there where I had my stuff stolen from me twice. I had a backpack, a little bag that had my phone and everything else in it. It was stolen from me twice while I was sleeping. So you get to the point to where when you go to sleep, you have to take your backpack and put it through your belt. That way it's not, your stuff doesn't get stolen from you. No. I was never there when the church was open. I would get there about 8 or 9 at night, and I would sleep there. And then the next morning, I would be up around 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. I would pick everything up. The only reason they allowed us to keep staying there is because we left no sign that we were even there. You know what I mean? We left no sign that we were there. Everything left with us. We didn't trash anything. We didn't, everything went with us. So, yeah, no, I never really even talked to the people at the church. Fubar, what's up? And, that's one of the things I don't understand about the homeless people today is they just trash places. And, if they would be respectful of other people's property, they would not have near the amount of issues that they have. You know what I mean? It's like it's not my property. I can't go out and scavenge shit all day long and just trash a place. That wasn't like, I respected the place that I was staying because I wanted to keep staying there. If these people would do the same thing, if they wouldn't fill these camps up with just massive amounts of junk, they wouldn't have near the amount of problems that they're having. Very, very hard life on the street. Very hard life.
Medic 5, DC3, Freddy 180, traffic injury.
Traffic
10,000 blocks,
injury.
go back.
Guys responded 10,600 north.
That's a good question, Butterfly. There's really not a way to tell. I try not to give money out because I know for a fact the money that you're handing these people, 9 times out of 10 are going for dope. And it's not going for food or whatever else. Did you see that former security guard here? Yeah, man, my buddy Mike Mike Cargill gave that guy a job. That is very awesome. He's actually going to work him up to being an armed guard. Cargill is an awesome guy, man. I met Cargill early on last year, and I did his show. I can't tell you how many times. I don't even know how many times I've done his show. It's been that much. The Come and Talk It show, and Mike is an awesome guy. Yeah, he has a security. Not only does he have Central Texas Gun Works, but he has a security company, and he hired the guy on the spot. Basically, he didn't even know anything about him, but he hired him. I hope it works out for him. Yeah, that dude he got attacked, but yet the guy that I think is called like Privy Security, they blamed the security guard. How is that? I mean, what? Like, come on, man. You're going to blame the security guard because he got attacked? So stupid. But I'm glad Mike hired him. I hope it works out for both of them. Hopefully it works out for the security guard because Mike is an awesome guy to work for. I mean, that guy, Mike is one of these people, if you work for him, he's going to have your back.
10600 to 10699 North Milpac Expressway. I'm moving to Fire North.
Hang on. What call was that?
41 responding, guys,
Fire alarm. I gave money in front of a Walgreens once. The guy went in and poured all his coins out for packs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not, most of the time when you give money, it's not for survival. It's not for food. It's usually cigarettes, drugs, or alcohol. That's what they care about. And that's why when we go into the camps, when I'm filming, we take, the things that I take with me are socks, cigarettes, and water. And believe me, the cigarettes go quicker than anything.
Thank you.
Cigarettes and water are what people ask for the most. But we go in and hand those kind of things out just to keep us safe too. You know, I'm in there with a camera, and people don't like cameras. But if you're giving them cigarettes, believe me, they don't mind the camera.
101 High Road.
They don't mind the camera when you got a pack of smokes.
Meg 41 inch.
But my wife sees me buying a carton or two of cigarettes a week, and she thinks I got a bad problem.
There's 2 churches at that intersection.
Jamie, why did you buy 3 cartons of Luckies this week and like You bought 3 cartons of Luckies and you bought about 1,000 feminine hygiene pads. What is going on with you?
I think 21 Denver, 21 unconscious, 2203 West 35.
Not many people believe me when I tell them it's for work. It's for work. I promise it's for work. It's not personal.
21 diverting to make sure.
I don't need 1,000 tampons. I promise. It's so stupid. I cannot even believe I just said that. Like that lady in the middle right there, she is on methamphetamines. We've talked to her quite a bit. She is a meth addict, and that's what she's after. Is see, these people, meth is so cheap right now on the street, they can get high off of $5. So if they go through and they make $50 standing on that corner, they can buy a couple of hits of meth, cigarettes, and they're good to go for the day. Said his job was to pick up homeless mess, including poop. Yep, I believe it. Isn't that sad? Can you imagine that your job is to pick up shit? Like you're walking around, picking up after a dog. It makes me sick to even think about it. You got to see the poop buckets in these camps. If you've ever seen a poop bucket, or if you've ever smelled a poop, I'm making t-shirts. I'm making poop bucket t-shirts, by the way. If you've ever seen a poop bucket or smelt a poop bucket, you will never, ever, ever, ever forget it. Pissed off. Get that money, they think. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's aggressive panhandling. And usually that kind of stuff happens when people are trying to wash your windshield. They don't even ask you. They just walk up and start washing your windshield. And then when you don't hand out money after they do it, then they get mad at you. And it's bad. Andrew asks, why do they keep it in a bucket? That's a good question. Normally, most people would bury it, but they take a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket, like if you went to Home Depot and got you a Home Depot bucket, and they put this bucket away from the camp, a good 50 feet away, and then they can go sit down on it and take a poop and pee in it and all that, and when it's full, they put the lid on it and they just leave it there. I think it's mainly to keep it away from the camp and a convenience thing. But let me tell you something. Right now it's hot outside, so those poop buckets from the winter time are still sitting in the woods. Because when the city cleans up a camp, they don't take the poop buckets. They leave the poop buckets right where they're at. And those poop buckets have a lid snapped down on them. And you know as well as I do what happens when that stuff starts bubbling up and festering. It'll blow the top off of a poop bucket in no time. And believe me, it is very obvious when a poop bucket exploded in the woods. It is the nasty, you have no idea. It is so bad. And especially a camp where people are on meth. I don't know how many people know this, but when a person is on meth, the poop smells different. You can smell it in the poop. A drug camp poop bucket is so much worse than just like a normal poop bucket. I cannot believe that I'm saying there's a normal poop bucket. But yeah, it's bad, man. It's so bad. And like I said, when the city cleans a camp, they don't take the poop buckets. They leave the poop buckets right where they're at. So if you're ever hiking through a green belt in Austin and you run across a 5-gallon bucket just sitting on a trail or sitting off to the side of the trail, steer clear of that bucket. Like, steer way clear of that bucket. Holy shit, I cannot believe I'm having this conversation. Yeah, I'm gonna stop with the poop buckets. I'll stop talking about them. I can't believe I just got that detailed about a poop bucket, but I think people need to understand what's happening. They'd hang out by the empty parking spaces downtown at night and then jump up and wait. Yeah. They demand money. And then if you don't give it to them, they get mad. And a lot of them will get belligerent, and they will try to assault you. A lot of them will also try to shame you. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, come on, man. I know you got to have a buck. I don't know about you guys, but rarely do I ever carry cash anymore. I mean, we're almost in a cashless society, So I rarely carry cash anymore. We're probably going to lose our connection here for a second. Yeah, I mean, I rarely carry cash, and I do not carry cash when we're filming in the camps. It's just like what happened yesterday when the guy, demanded my sunglasses and my backpack. I don't like carrying in the cameras that I use either, but there's only one way to film. Most of the time I'll use a cell phone now. I won't even take my cameras in anymore. It's just too dangerous. But the people that stand on the side of the road and they clean your windshield, this happens over on Mopac a lot by Cesar Chavez in that area. They come out, they don't ask you, they just start cleaning your windshield. It doesn't matter if you ask them to or not, they're just going to start cleaning it. And then they know that when they look at you afterwards, 9 times out of 10, most people are going to hand over exactly what they've got. In Austin, BF, you're in Austin, BF. I don't know what BF is, but I am in Austin. Austin, Texas. I'm on Lamar Avenue right now, actually. Yeah, that's right, you're in Corpus. The next time they fly that big ass rocket out of Boca Chica, I'm coming to Corpus. I'm coming to Corpus, and I'm gonna be me and my little boy. Happening everywhere in society. Go to a coffee shop now, and they have 20% set as the default tip option. Yeah, they do. Isn't it sad? And you go to Europe. I don't know how many of you guys have ever been to Europe, but you go to Europe. There is no tipping over there. It ain't like it is here. Over here, the entitlement, like Andrew just said, the entitlement is crazy. How they expect, you're expected to tip that much. Andrew, I don't know if you've ever been to Europe, but do you know how it is in Europe when it comes to tipping? It ain't like it is here. And that's why Europeans that come to America, they're shocked. They're like, what the fuck? You go through Starbucks and, it takes them a couple of minutes to make your coffee. And they expect a 25% tip. 20% tip. Shit, man, most people waiting tables, working their asses off to wait your table. They don't even get that much. And everybody wants a tip now. Everybody, even the telephone man coming to your house, it's like you almost feel obligated to tip him too. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind tipping, but there's a problem when it's expected. No, it's not. No. And if I remember right, those jobs, I mean, they're making at least minimum wage, which, like waiters, they're not making 10, 15, whatever bucks an hour. Different over there, no pharma ad. It is so. My family's from Germany. My mom's side of the family is still in Germany. And it is a lot different. It is a lot different in Germany than it is here. Yeah, that's why FUBAR, the titty dancers. That's why I don't like carrying cash, because you never know what crack that cash has been in. But I love Europe. Europe is a pretty awesome place. not only, you know, it's like if when you're there, it's like you can feel how historic everything is. You know what I mean? Like there's so much that's happened in Germany and those areas from, you know, all the wars and like events through history that has just changed the course of the world. And being there sometimes is very surreal. Ramstein, over by the air base, that's where everybody's pretty much they're from, and East Germany. So they were over in when the Soviets were in control of Berlin. They were in Eastern Berlin. Nuremberg, there you go. See, that's what I say, like Nuremberg. Things, that there's so much history in Nuremberg. There's just a ton of history there. And when you're there, you can feel it. Like, it's like you can feel the history. It's weird being there. It gives me a really weird feeling. What did I think of the debate? Holy shit, man. That debate was something else. Let me tell you something. The debate, I am 90% certain that debate was set up to make Joe Biden fail on purpose. It was that bad. Like, you're never gonna make me believe that the Democrats really thought that. You'll never make me believe they thought that Joe Biden could do that. I think it was a setup. I think they did it just to get him out of the race. And like I said, if you believe Tucker Carlson's reporting, which I do believe Tucker Carlson's reporting, he's out. The decision's already been made. It's just a matter of when they're going to announce it. Which, if they're smart, they'll do it sooner rather than later. And from everything I hear, it's going to be Kamala Harris running. That's what I hear. That's what Tucker Carlson, I mean, most people say that the people that I listen to and trust, they say it's going to be Kamala Harris. And it almost has to be with all the DEI shit that they have going on. It's not going to be Gavin Newsom because he's straight white male. She checks all of the DEI boxes. And if she is really going to be the nominee, Trump should be able to make hay out of her. Yeah, oh, you know she's waiting. That woman's just sitting back, just, you know, she's like that evil person on the cartoon, just rubbing her hands together. Yeah, Andrew, you're right. Man, like, after that debate, I mean, have you seen Jake Tapper and what he's saying on CNN about Biden? I mean, they are just slaughtering Biden right now on CNN. And you're right, it was so obvious the way they did it. The debate happened, and then mainstream media turned on him like it was just, I mean, it was just in unison. You're right. Trump 2024. I hope Trump 2024. But then you got Morning Joe over on MSNBC, and I heard that guy yesterday morning saying that, oh, you know, Biden is as sharp as he's ever been. And, you know, anybody saying that right now is obviously lying through their teeth. There is not one person going to look at Biden and say he's the sharpest he's ever been. That is just crazy, man. Morning Joe. Joy Reid and Morning Joe are the two biggest Trump derangement syndrome people that there are right now. Joe Scarborough. So funny. You know what? If you got to go check out Tucker Carlson, go to X and search for the Tucker Carlson Network and look at his reporting on this. He's reporting, and he has really good sources apparently, that Jill Biden is the driving force behind Biden and his presidential campaign right now. That she is the main one. And if that's the case, it is elder abuse. I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like him one bit, but I feel bad for the guy because my grandmother died with Alzheimer's. And we saw the decline and how she declined over a couple of years. And it's very obvious Joe Biden is in that decline. He has no business being where he's at right now. And Tucker Carlson, I heard him on an interview yesterday talking about that if the Democrats are smart,
B3,
they will go ahead. Biden will step down from the presidency right now and let Kamala Harris come up into the presidency for her run. It could happen any day. It could happen any day. He could step down, or he could announce. He will at least announce that he's leaving. He's leaving the race. But a lot of people are saying he's going to step down from the presidency. That's going to be pretty historic if that happens. But like I said, I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like what he's done to the country. He's a criminal. But I feel bad for the guy. He's being used right now. He has no business being where he's at. Did y'all see where he yesterday Biden gave that press conference about the immunity thing, and then he was reading the teleprompter and he actually read end of quote? Holy shit, man. He read that he read a quote from one of the justices, and then at the end he read end of quote. Yeah, Trump. Yeah, they ruled yesterday that he has absolute immunity for official acts, and implied immunity for the others. The reason Kamala is so stupid is because fuck Kamala's brains out. Holy shit, Fubar. Yeah, this is a pretty historic time, Andrew, don't you think? It's a pretty historic time that we're living in right now. I mean, I don't know if it's historic, but it is incredibly unprecedented. They have went so far off the rails to make sure Trump doesn't get back into the White House, and everything they're doing is failing. And it's like the more they fail, the more desperate they're getting. And the more desperate they're getting, the crazier the shit that they're doing is. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I'm not even looking at what's going on around the city right now. Trash fire, 9951 Anderson Lane. Oh, we're right here. All right, we're going to go to a trash fire up here. What do you want to bet it's a homeless camp that's burning? Yeah, Jane, it is. Kamala didn't climb the ladder to where she is today. To say it nicely. She checked all of the DEI. She checked all the DEI boxes. She's not there because of her. She's there because of things out of her control. Race, sex, skin color, which is race. We're gonna go up here to this trash fire. It's right around the corner. Let's see, do I have to get off? Yeah, I have to get off. It's historic. I think we're being guided like sheep. At the same time, the establishment is risking the masses seeing. You know, if the masses aren't seeing behind the camera at this point, or behind the curtains at this point, there's a huge problem, because I think it's obvious to everybody what's happening at this point. You're right, they've let the mask slip. They have let the mask slip. And at a certain point, the deep state, this may be happening right now, where they are understanding that they're not going to be able to stop Trump from winning. I think at this point, it's almost impossible for them to stop him from winning. He is so far ahead. Now they've screwed up with the person that they have running. It's like the worst situation for them right now. There's supposed to be a trash fire right here.
Control Medicaid, we're clear the sobering center at the station for crew change.
See if we can find it. I don't think it's going to be a homeless camp, but there's definitely a trash fire here somewhere.
Have a good one.
Usually I can smell it by now. Unless, hang on, I gotta stop and see. Man, I had to get my brakes fixed. You know, that morning, do you remember what they sounded like? I guess it was Sunday morning or Saturday morning. I left to go home. I stopped by and bought brakes, and by the time I got to my house, my brakes were, my driver's side rear tire, it locked up. It completely locked up. Hang on, I'm going to put in the coordinates.
General Fitness 7218,
I'm going to put in the coordinates and see where it takes us. Let's see. The coordinates have us... Okay, the coordinates have us on the other side of 35. So that means, let's see, we'll go out this way. Yeah, I ended up having to spend a lot of money to have a mechanic come to my house because I got this thing taken apart. The problem was, you know, when you're doing your brakes, you know how you gotta squeeze the caliper back in, to get it to fit over the new brakes? I didn't realize that on this car, not only do you have to compress the caliper, but you gotta spin it as well. It spins as it's compressing, and it takes a special tool to make that happen. So I almost chopped off a finger on my right hand trying to spin that thing and compress it at the same time with a pair of dikes. It was stupid. It was stupid. So, according to the coordinates of where this is at, this could actually be a homeless camp burning down here. It's just right in front of us, a few blocks. Hey, yo, this is what I see. It's right under 35. and Carver Avenue. Okay, Carver. Okay, there's Carver. We're gonna lose connection going under this bridge. Guys, y'all don't have any idea how much I appreciate you being over here and chatting. It's so awesome. Andrew, I love it when you stop by. We have to go get lunch real soon. I love having conversations with you. We got to get lunch real soon. I'll message you, but we need to hook up. But I appreciate Butterfly, Fubar, all of you guys. Jane, all of you guys that are here. It's very awesome to have you all here. Butterfly, they are and they're not. It's illegal. It's against the law to camp in in areas that are not designated for camping. But the city doesn't. They rarely enforce it. Over the last year, there has been no illegal camping tickets issued. None. So it is illegal, but they don't enforce it. Or if they do, it's in extreme situations. Very extreme situations. I think what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to get this show on a schedule That way, you know, we're doing like a couple hours on a normal schedule. And, you know, right now I'm doing this like very sporadically, and I want to get away from that. I want it to actually be more on a schedule that everybody can attend, or, you know, that works with everybody. Man, I don't want to lose connection down here.
32 assault, 4400 closer risk.
I don't want to lose connection.
4400 crossing road.
Alright, this is where the fire, yep, it's right there. And it's a pretty big fire. Well, no, what is that?
2400 plus.
I don't even know what that is.
4692.
You know what we're gonna do? I don't want to lose connection too much. I knew I would lose connection down there. Are we back? I think we're back. Get my nails in this. And the guy was sleeping on the sidewalk. Guy was sleeping, blocking the way, and I walked right. Yeah, that happens a lot, where people just lay out on the sidewalks. Isn't it crazy? What's it gonna take to start enforcing the camping ban? What's it gonna take to start enforcing the camping ban? I'm gonna tell you exactly what it's gonna take. Right now, my friend Matt McCowiak, he has the PAC Save Austin Now. They have a lawsuit that is going through the courts right now to force the city of Austin to start enforcing the camping ban. That's what it's going to take. And I have I filled out affidavits and done as much as I can with the videos and stuff that I have to help him out in his lawsuit. So hopefully we'll get a chance, maybe I'll get a chance to go to court and testify in support of his lawsuit. So we'll see. Right now, the court that it's in front of, there's a very good chance of getting it actually enforced at this point. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take a court forcing the city of Austin to enforce the law, sadly. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, we have the evidence, you know, that they're not enforcing. You know, I mean, that's pretty much all I do. Oh, we're gonna lose connection, boys. Okay, are we back? No, Matt is trying to force the city of Austin to enforce the camping ban. Matt is a politician. Not only does he run the Save Austin Now PAC Political Action Committee. I don't see any fire department out here, by the way. Not only does he run the PAC Save Austin Now, but he is also the chairman of the Republican Party here in Travis County. So he is basically, he led the charge several years ago to get the camping ban put back into place. So what happened was, after the George Floyd shit happened, the city of Austin, they took the camping ordinance and was like, nope, we're not doing it. We're not enforcing this anymore. It's no longer in effect. You can sleep wherever you want. And we all saw what happened after that. There was people sleeping literally everywhere. Everywhere there was people sleeping. And so Matt and Save Austin Now got it put back on the ballot, and they were successful. They got it passed. The Austin voters approved the camping ban. And since then, the city of Austin has still not enforced the camping ban. They're just like, nah, fuck it. We're not going to do it. And that's why he is suing them again, to get them, the lawsuit is to force the city of Austin to enforce the camping ban. And most people think that it's just a way to just criminalize homelessness, and that's not it. It's not to criminalize homelessness. The more camps that are shut down in this city, So here's the thing: when the city shuts down a camp, they not only shut the camp down, but everybody in that camp is offered housing. They're offered off of the street. Now, if they take it, that's another thing. If they take the chance to get off the street, that's another thing. But the more of these camps that we can shut down, the more people we get off the street, the more people we can help.
Control 28.
And that's the thing about the camping ban. I did sign a good deal. Prop B passing gave me so much hope, but here we still are. Well, hopefully this lawsuit will give you more hope. Hopefully this lawsuit will restore your faith that things are going to be okay. Because there's the chances are better that this lawsuit will be successful than it will not be successful. So the court, obviously the lower courts here in Austin sided against Save Austin Now, but that's going to change. It's now in front of like the appeals court or the higher courts, which that's why we have higher courts, as checks and balances on the lower court. So hopefully that the lawsuit will prevail. The lawsuit is Save Austin Now, and there's also some businesses here in Austin that have been adversely affected by homelessness. So it's not just Save Austin Now. It's it is encouraging. It really is. And like I said, I've given every single bit of video and data I have to them to use in the lawsuit. And look, the data that I have proves their point. It proves why. It proves the merits of their lawsuit. That it is a huge problem. It's adversely affecting everybody, and the city of Austin is not doing their job. So I hope they'll give me a chance to go in court and testify to that fact. I did fill out a lot of affidavits and all that stuff with the lawyers, so hopefully that will happen. I would love more than anything to go in front of a court and be able to testify to the data that I gather. And the other thing about what we do and what Dash does here in Austin, people think that we're just out to hurt people, and that's not it. Not only, look, we're not funded by anybody but you guys in ad revenue, as little of it as we get. And a lot of that money is taken to buy water and hygiene supplies. And, we take it and we purchase a bunch of stuff to donate and to hand out to the homeless community. But at the same time, it's like with the water tower camp. We put out videos last week about the water tower camp and how bad it is, and then boom, now we find out yesterday they pulled the trigger on shutting it down. This happens over and over around the city. I can't tell you how many of these large ass camps that we've documented and we've thrown a spotlight on, and then within a week or two they're getting shut down. Not only are they getting shut down, but the people that are living in those camps are being offered housing. Now here's the bad thing. The people that are offered housing, how many of them are taking the housing? Not very many. Not very many. They want to be on the street. So don't ever let anybody tell you that the homeless situation here in Austin and around the country is caused because people don't have access to housing. That's bullshit. It's a complete lie. You work at a bank, South Park Meadows. She was constantly harassed by the homeless. They would break their... Oh, yeah, they'll break into your cars. If you leave anything out where they can see it, they'll take it. And in Austin right now, most of the laws aren't being enforced, and so there's nobody telling them not to. You know what I mean? And you know what, Andrew here in the chat has. I wished you were on here with me so you could tell the story of what happened to you. Andrew, the story, Andrew's story, it's crazy. I'm trying to remember all the details. I would love to tell it, but Andrew had a bad encounter with homelessness. This was I think it was last year, if I remember right. Yes, you have to force them. The thing is jail, the justice system has a place in this issue, I think. I don't think it's not the first response. Jail should not be the first response. but it definitely has its place. It has a place. You know, look at the damage that it's causing. Look at the damage to the environment that it's causing. Look at the fires. Look at the drugs. I mean, your green spaces that your taxes pay for are unusable. If you're going to do that kind of stuff, if you're going to completely trash these green spaces, if you're going to set fires, if you're going to go and rob the homes that are near your camp, you don't belong there. Here's your chance. We're issuing you a trespass warning. You were told to leave. Here's housing. If you come back, now it's time for jail. So people will say that you're making homelessness illegal, and that's not the case. Much like everything else in the world we live in, the justice system plays a part. There is a place for the justice system in pretty much every response to every social issue. It's just here lately. I mean, I was looking at you had a gun pulled on you. I was looking at some numbers from after the George Floyd incident, and how much murders of black men went up. I mean, it was like an astronomical number, and that's because after the George Floyd incident, there was no longer a fear of police. People did what they wanted to, and sadly, the black community were affected more by that than any other community. I wished I could remember where I was reading that, and I saw the numbers. I'm gonna look it up. I'll post it if I can find the numbers. Gosh, I'm still getting a shit ton of spam calls. Somebody leaked my phone number a while back, and it got somebody had set up a robo-dialer on my phone, and I was getting a phone call like every 30 seconds for like 2 days. It shut my phone completely down. I didn't know what I was going to do to stop it. Every time I would try to go to install a robo-killer, I couldn't because the phone was ringing. And it's starting again this morning. It's not every 30 seconds, but it's about every 15 minutes at this point. I don't know why people hate what I do so much. I'm trying to help people, and you get attacked because of it. Gosh, we've been live for 2 hours, man. It doesn't seem like it's been 2 hours. There's a couple of them actually. There are 3 of them, as a matter of fact. The apartments. There's Southbridge, there's Northbridge and Southbridge. We just passed one. It's right there by St. John's and 35. And then there's another one going up in northwest Austin, up by Pecan Park and 183 in that area. That one's not open yet, but it will be. Yeah, we're getting these camps shut down left and right. It's really awesome. I can't believe what we're able to do. You know, somebody told me a while back that Dash carries a big stick in the city right now, and it's up to me to use it responsibly. Like, who do we aim that stick at? That's why I put that message out on X talking about how I don't ever want to get a big ego or a big head about any of this, and if I do, I hope you guys will call me out on it. I think I've been able to stay pretty level-headed about things. Take your free things. Yeah, they do. They'll take the free stuff. And then, yesterday, I'll tell that story real quick about what happened yesterday. We were in the water tower camp yesterday, handing out water, feminine hygiene products and such. And there was a man that was in there. He was a Hispanic man. And he had the prison tattoos. You could tell he had been in prison. Teardrops on his eyes. I mean, he had been in prison for a while. And I handed him a couple of bottles of water, and he looked at me and said, "Now give me your sunglasses, your backpack, and your phone." And he just stared a hole through me. And I mean, obviously I carry, Dave carries. We're not easy targets. And then once he saw that, like, it wasn't going to be that easy, he just laughed it off, But the laugh off came about 30 seconds after, you know, he had made the demand for my stuff. And that's when we extricated ourselves from that area really quickly. We got out of there really, really quickly after that. It was a little scary. It was a little scary. And these problems being swept under the rug, and that's all it takes to make a difference. You're right. I don't know why I've been given the chance to do this. I appreciate it. It's because of you guys. It's because of you guys watching. None of this would be possible without all of you guys. You guys over on X, you guys over on YouTube, Rumble, all of you guys. None of this would be possible without you. None of it. Not only do you guys donate, but you watching and sharing and commenting and feeding that algorithm. That's so important, to feed the algorithm. It's like a beast that you got to keep feeding. Anyway, it is almost noon. It's going to be noon here shortly, and I've got to go back into the water tower camp so we can, there's a dog that I'm looking for in there for a young lady. And then we've got some other camps that Dave and I are going to be in a little bit later this afternoon. So new content, new camps coming out today. I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you. Butterfly, Blue Popcorn, Jane, Andrew, Foobar. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And I will be live again, I guess either late, maybe tonight. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go tonight or not, but definitely going to be live again in the morning. And then Fridays and Saturday nights, I'm getting back onto a normal routine where Austin After Dark will be every Friday and Saturday night for sure. Like I said, sometimes I stream live from the camps. Yeah, I do. I do stream live from the camps if I've got good enough signal. That's the hard part, is a lot of these places are very remote. So, but yeah, just keep an eye on you know what? Let me see who asked that. Butterfly. So you know what? I will start streaming the camp when I do stream live from the camps. I will stream them through Streamlabs, so I can stream it to all platforms. Normally, if I do it live, I just do it through X because it makes it a little bit easier. But I'll start streaming them through everything. Guys, I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. God's honest truth. I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you. And